that's why I figured you'll go shave that tonight. Randy, how are you? You're a good man, Dave.
Can I have your attention, please? All assembled in this auditorium, give attention, please. The Secretary of State, the Honorable Lexi Janulius, sends greetings and proclaims that this day, the second Wednesday of January 2023, is the day fixed for the convening of the House of Representatives of the 103rd General Assembly of the State of Illinois, pursuant to Article 4, Section 5 of the 1970 Illinois Constitution. At the Speaker's rostrum, ready to convene the House of Representatives of the 103rd General Assembly for the great state of Illinois, is our Secretary of State, the Honorable Lexi Janulius.
The House of Representatives. The House of Representatives of the 103rd General Assembly of the State of Illinois will come to order. I want to welcome all of you here. Congratulations, family members, friends, supporters. I will tell you that I've got some outstanding friends on both sides of the aisle here, so congratulations to all of you. I used to be the young guy here, now I'm the old guy. So it's great to see you all, and congratulations. Thank you for your public service. We are gathered today for the purpose of convening the Illinois House of Representatives for the 103rd General Assembly and electing from its membership a Speaker of the House of Representatives as presiding officer. Today's proceedings are governed by the 1970 Illinois Constitution and the rules of the House of Representatives of the 102nd General Assembly, pursuant to Section 3 of the General Assembly Operations Act. To begin, we shall be led in prayer by Pastor Jerry Doss, lead pastor of Abundant Faith Christian Center here in Springfield. Will all people please stand and remain standing until after the prayer?
Good day to you all, and congratulations again to the Illinois House of Representatives and the 103rd General Assembly. Just for the records, those who are looking at the records, I am not T. Ray McJunkins, but Jerry Dawson. It's a pleasure to be before you to pray with you. I want to also personally thank you for the leaders and the decision makers for passing the bill last night on banning assault weapons. We appreciate you. Thank you. As we pray, our Father, which art in heaven, we thank you for this amazing day and the great people of Illinois, and we thank you for the great progress that they've made so far, and thank you, God, that we yet have a lot of work to do. I pray that you strengthen them, protect them, and thank you for us coming together in unity. We also thank you, God, that you continue to give them wisdom and direction as they continue to lead this great state. Bless our country, that we may continue to be one nation under God. And we pray this in your name. We say amen.
Would the Dean of the House, Representative Mary Flowers, please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. You may be seated. For the duration of the organizational proceedings, I have appointed the following provisional officers: John W. Holman as provisional clerk and James Hartman as provisional parliamentarian. Provisional Clerk Holman will call the roll of members elected or appointed to the 103rd General Assembly. Each member in attendance shall answer present. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
Carol Ammons. Jamie M. Andrade, Jr. Dagmara D. Avalar. Thomas M. Bennett has declined the office. Harry Benton. Diane Blair Sherlock is absent today. Cam Buckner. Kelly M. Burke. John M. Cabello. Mary Beth Canty. Jonathan Carroll. Kelly M. Castee. Dan Calkins. Sharon Chung. Michael J. Coffey Jr. Lakeisha Collins. Tara Costa Howard. Fred Crespo. Margaret Croak. Christopher C.D. Davidsmeyer. Jed Davis. William Will Davis. Evadina Delgado. Anthony DeLuca. Daniel Diddich. Jim Durkin declined the office. Amy Ellick. Marcus C. Evans, Jr. Laura Favor Dias. Mary E. Flowers. LaShawn K. Ford. Randy E. Fries. David Fries. Bradley J. Fritz. Robin Gable. Jennifer Gong Gershowitz. Edgar Gonzalez, Jr. Jahan Gordon Booth. Amy L. Grant. Angie Guerrero Cuellar. Will Gazzardi. Jackie Haas. Brad Halbrook. Noreen K. Hammond. Matt Hansen. Sonia Marie Harper. William E. Halder. Barbara Hernandez. Elizabeth Lisa Hernandez. Norma Hernandez. Maura Hirschauer. Jay Hoffman. Frances Ann Hurley. Han Nguyen. Paul Jacobs. Lillian Jimenez. Greg Johnson. Thaddeus Jones. Jeff Kiker. Michael J. Kelly. Stephanie A. Kipowit. Jen Laddish Douglas. Lindsay Lapointe. Camille Lilly. Teresa Ma. Natalie A. Manley. Mike Marin. Joyce Mason. Rita Mayfield. Tony M. McCombie. Martin McLaughlin. Charles Meyer. Debbie Myers Martin. Chris Miller. Anna Moeller. Bob Morgan. Martin J. Moylan.
Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby.
Michelle Mussman. Suzanne M. Ness. Cyril Nichols. Adam M. Niemer. Kevin Olakol. Aaron M. Ortiz. Tim Ozinga. Abdel Nasser Rashid. Stephen Reich. Robert Bob Rita. Lamont J. Robinson. Rain A. Rosenthal. Jennifer Sanalitro. Sue Scherer. Kevin Schmidt. Dave Severin. Justin Q. Slaughter. Nicholas Nick Smith. Joe C. Sosnowski. Ryan Spain. Ann Stava Murray. Brad Stevens. Katie Stewart. Dan Swanson. Nabila Syed. Curtis J. Tarver II. Dennis Tipsworth Jr. Dan Ugaste. Dave Vella. Mark L. Walker. Lawrence Larry Walsh, Jr. Travis Weaver. Tom Weber. Emmanuel Chris Welch. Maurice A. West II. Blaine Wilhoward. Ann M. Williams. Jarahario Omar Williams. Patrick Windhorst. Janet Yang Rohr. Lance Yednock.
Before we officially convene and have the oath, I do want to recognize a few individuals. I mentioned I've got many friends on both sides of the aisle. I want to congratulate Abdul Nasser and Nabila for making history. Congratulations to you. I also want to give a special shout out to my friend Barbara Hernandez, who's had some health scares, so it's great to see you here. We're very happy, very proud of you. And lastly, I want to recognize Representative Jay Hoffman, who has been like a grandfather to me in my time in public office. 115 representatives-elect having answered the roll and being in attendance, a quorum is present, and the House of Representatives of the 103rd General Assembly is officially convened. The provisional clerk will enter the attendance roll in the journal. I now have the honor of presenting the Honorable Elizabeth Rochford, Justice of the Supreme Court, who will administer the constitutional oath of office, following which each member should execute the written oath to be filed in my office.
It is both my personal and professional privilege to be here with you this afternoon for this important purpose. Will the representatives-elect please stand? And if you will, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name. Do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Illinois, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Representative in the General Assembly according to the best of my ability. Congratulations.
Again, will all the members of the House please execute the written oath and submit them to the provisional clerk. Members should execute their signatures twice on the sheet placed at their chair. Staff will be around to pick up the oaths in the aisles. The House will be at ease for a few moments. Under Article 4, Section 6B of the 1970 Illinois Constitution, the House shall elect from its membership a Speaker of the Illinois House of Representatives as presiding officer. The rules of the House provide for nominations, and all nominations require a second. The election for the office of the Speaker requires the affirmative vote of a majority of those elected. Therefore, 60 votes in favor of a nominee shall be required to be elected Speaker. Debate is not in order following nominations and preceding or during the vote. Nominations are now in order for the office of Speaker. Representative Lisa Hernandez is recognized to offer a nomination.
Good afternoon, everyone. It is with great honor to nominate Emanuel Chris Welch as Speaker of the House for the 103rd General Assembly. From day one as Speaker, he has been at the helm protecting and defending our democracy, unifying us in the fight to uphold our democratic values amidst rising Republican extremism. Well, we won. Five additional seats. And not only did he keep us in the super House majority, he was highly instrumental in the victory of the two Supreme Court and statewide constitutional races. I am proud of the partnership we have created, and I can't thank him enough for keeping us strong. Speaker Welch, thank you. No one can deny Chris Welch entered the role of Speaker at the right time. A time during the George Floyd protests and COVID made it tough, but he has moved us forward by setting up a new structure that has and continues to increase member input, whether it's through work groups, seminars, on budget or Medicaid, caucusing frequently, and so on. And one of my favorites, it's the books. He gives us books, recommendation of books. The last one was 4 Agreements. It was great. In almost 2 years, he has cultivated a unified caucus by finding common ground among our diverse coalition of representatives. As a legislator, your priority is to effectively represent the various needs of your constituents. Imagine managing the diverse needs of all districts throughout our state. Sounds close to impossible, but Speaker Welch does it well. In case you haven't noticed, Speaker Welch is everywhere. Making a presence in the various parts of the state offers a chance to recognize the diverse communities all across the state, and he is doing it. Illinois is at its best when we work together, when we collaborate. Chris Welch has found the way of doing just that. A unified front that had led us to victory and 5 additional seats. A guardian, a true guardian of democracy. And that is why I urge the nomination of Emmanuel Chris Welch for Speaker of the House. Thank you.
Representative Lisa Hernandez nominates the gentleman from Cook, Representative Emmanuel Chris Welch, for Speaker of the House. Is there a second to this motion, to this nomination? The chair recognizes Representative Cam Buckner.
Good afternoon. 2 years ago, our friend Emmanuel Chris Welch began a historic speakership at a historic time. I rise today in support of his nomination so that we may continue to make history. When we gathered in this setting in the Bank of Springfield Center 2 years ago, we knew the challenges that we faced. An unprecedented global pandemic. It disrupted our lives, it closed doors and businesses, and stripped away our peace of mind. But we found strength in one another. So many of our communities were hurt by the sting of injustice and the sting of inequity. But we stood united to address it. Leaders in Washington spent 4 years prioritizing extremism, but we were determined to move Illinois in a fundamentally better direction. Under these realities, this body faced uncertainty and doubt. But we put faith in our colleagues. And in the midst of the chaos, we needed stability. And against this backdrop, we elected Speaker Welch to serve as the first Black Speaker of the House in the 202-year history of the great state of Illinois. In his first term, Speaker Welch led us to deliver on the major issues facing Illinois with civility, with compassion, and with an ever-present willingness to collaborate. He has always placed a great deal of emphasis on creating a culture of cooperation, and that focus helped carry many pieces of great legislation across the finish line. Under the leadership of Speaker Welch, we passed 2 budgets that promoted public safety, cut healthcare costs, and paid down billions in debt, all while bolstering Illinois' fiscal standing and earning 6, count them 6, credit rating increases from major financial institutions. We passed the landmark Climate and Equity Jobs Act to combat climate change and create thousands of good-paying, sustainable jobs while simultaneously powering Illinois' economy and helping secure a healthier environment for all of our children. We passed legislation to secure voting rights and to conduct the most transparent remapping process in Illinois history, because safeguarding the rights of Illinoisans to have their voices heard is the bedrock of our democracy. We are about to enter a new General Assembly with a clear mandate from voters to take action on new challenges. And I have every single confidence that this speaker will lead this body to address those changes. So what exactly does that mean? It means the deeply misguided lawmakers and Supreme Court justices who are attacking the human right of bodily autonomy will not gain ground. It means the epidemic of gun violence, crime, and substance abuse hammering our communities will not go unanswered. Under the continued leadership of Speaker Welch, we will overcome these challenges and advance beyond previous benchmarks of success. The progress that he has ushered in for the past 2 years will continue to be the norm, cementing Illinois as a nationwide beacon for human rights and equitable opportunity. As I talk to our counterparts in legislatures around the country, they remain in awe of the work we have been able to do under Speaker Welch's leadership. In conversations with legislators from Michigan and Indiana, Florida and Louisiana, California and New York, they often say, Illinois is on top. And my response is, yes, we are. And we are going higher. Under the leadership of Speaker Welch, we have set a new standard in this state. We are on top and going higher. Protecting workers, on top and going higher. Reforming the criminal legal system, on top and going higher. Creating pathways for equitable economic investment, on top and going higher. Supporting Illinois families and business owners and students and teachers and essential workers and asylum seekers and first responders and community groups doing the work every single day, on top and going higher. And we're doing this so well, we banned assault weapons, and we did it twice. In a diverse chamber like this, with experience and youth, intellect and grit, lived experience and skillful precision, a chamber that will boast the likes of a Mary Flowers and a Nabila Saeed, and Edgar Gonzalez and a Jay Hoffman, a Sue Scherer and a Lakeisha Collins. We look like Illinois, we feel like Illinois, and we are going to fight like Illinois. And we're able to do all of that because of the leadership of our speaker. Even though today is a celebration and the proverbial good times are rolling, the tough times are not over. We will need to find ways to achieve our best ideals and our highest motives. And it was Speaker Welch's brand of leadership that will help us do that. The most famous member of the Illinois House of Representatives, Abraham Lincoln, once said, "The dogmas of the quiet past are inadequate to the stormy present. The occasion is piled high with difficulty, and we must rise with that occasion." So without hesitation, I rise today to second the nomination of Emmanuel Chris Welch for Speaker of the House of Representatives in the Illinois 103rd General Assembly. Thank you.
Representative Lisa Hernandez nominates the gentleman from Cook, Representative Emmanuel Chris Welch, for Speaker of the House. Representative Cam Buckner seconds the nomination of Representative Emmanuel Chris Welch for the office of Speaker. Representative Emmanuel Chris Welch is nominated for the office of Speaker. Are there further nominations for the office of Speaker? The chair recognizes Representative Noreen Hammond.
Thank you, Secretary Janulius. Congratulations to you and all of the constitutional officers who took the oath of office this week. Welcome to my colleagues, my family, all of our families, and friends. My name is Noreen Hammond, and I'm proud to represent the new 94th District, which stretches from the Quad Cities in the north down to just north of Quincy in the south, and across to the Illinois River. My district borders the Mississippi River and covers an area of Western Illinois University, long known as Forgotonia. I am honored to nominate my good friend, Tony McCombie, for the Speaker of the Illinois House of Representatives. Today, we have an opportunity to once again make history by electing the first female member to head the House of Representatives in the state of Illinois. For the past 6 years, Tony McCombie has represented northwestern Illinois near the Quad Cities, another border district with our neighboring states. Prior to being elected to the House in 2016, Tony served as mayor of Savannah, a small town along the Mississippi River. She has been married to her husband, Kurt, a volunteer firefighter. Thank you, sir, for your service. And a lab technician with DuPont. They have been married since 2006. Tony and I have much in common, from our border districts along the Mississippi, attending Western Illinois University, go Leathernecks, to our time as seatmates on the floor of the House. We share the same hopes and concerns for our great state and for families across the state of Illinois. As a state representative and previous mayor of Savannah, Tony McCombie has a proven bipartisan record of working together for our families. She understands the need to work in a bipartisan manner to develop and deliver common sense reform to Illinois. Her priorities include restoring accountability and fiscal stability, valuing high-quality education, promoting job creation, and protecting public safety. As a small business owner, Tony understands the importance of a business-friendly climate, economic growth, and the creation of jobs and opportunities for our hardworking families. Tony knows that the #1 goal in government is to protect the people we serve. As a member of the Judiciary Criminal Law Committee, the Restorative Justice Committee, Tony has worked with law enforcement committees in our community, with our advocates, and her colleagues across the aisle to find ways to solve problems that will make our state a safer place to raise our families. Tony McCombie. Tony McCombie will be a strong conservative voice for the House Republican caucus while understanding that Illinois is a large, diverse state with differing views on how to best deliver good government service for all of its citizens. Tony believes that it is her duty as an elected official to serve every constituent she represents. Illinois has seen enough politicians who continuously propose and pass legislation that unethically and selfishly benefits themselves and their reelections. It is more important than ever to eliminate the conflicts of interest, the corruption, and the unethical behavior. Tony is working to rebalance the power of the state government by empowering the citizens of Illinois. She will continue to fight for structural and political reforms that will build up and grow Illinois. After years of financial mismanagement and neglect, Tony McCombie will bring fiscal sanity back to Springfield. She will help get our fiscal house in order. She believes firmly in common sense and transparent budget processing. Crafting budgets behind closed doors and requiring a vote without sufficient time to review it is a disservice to our taxpayers. It is long past time to bring some sunshine to our appropriations process by demanding accountability and transparency. To my friends and colleagues on both sides of the aisle, let me say this. You can trust Tony McCombie to lead the House with integrity and resolve. Her background and experience make her an outstanding candidate for Speaker. As one of my closest friends, I know Tony is the right choice to lead us to a brighter future for our families. Let's make history again. As we begin the 103rd Illinois General Assembly, let's elect the first female member to the Illinois House to be our leader. Join me today and vote for Tony McCombie to be the next Speaker of the House of Representatives for the state of Illinois. Thank you.
Representative Hammond nominates the lady from Carroll, Tony McCombie, for Speaker of the House. Is there a second to this nomination? The chair recognizes Representative Bradley J. Fritz.
Mr. Secretary, it is my great privilege and high honor to second the nomination of Representative Tony McCombie for Speaker of the Illinois House of Representatives. My first interaction with Leader McCombie was very unique for many of you. As a high school sophomore fascinated by government and politics, I watched Tony's first election for state representative. And no, I'm not still a sophomore in high school. Thank you very much. She was the underdog Republican in the majority Democratic district, engaging voters on issues that make the lives of families in Northwest Illinois better and to help government work for them. I was inspired by her inclusive approach and her unstoppable work ethic. Today, Representative McCombie continues to work with everyone from either side of the aisle, from any area of Illinois. If it is good for our state, you'll find Tony McCombie is an enthusiastic champion. One important example of Tony's leadership is in the area of child safety. When DCFS investigator Pam Knight was murdered in the line of duty, Representative McCombie immersed herself in making laws to protect children in care and to make child welfare work safer. Though some implements, Though some improvements have become law, she continues to push for better legislation and will use her platform to continue to build bipartisan coalitions to implement the much-needed reforms at DCFS and others who protect and care for children in our state. Relentlessly seeking common ground is an example that all 118 of us should follow, but is an especially necessary quality to have in our speaker. We need a leader who understands the promise and complexity of the economy, workforce, and labor, and the job creators of Illinois. We need a leader invested in the dreams of our families, their education, their health care, their quality of life. And we need a leader who believes that we can work together to solve problems and rise above our differences from the great city of Chicago all the way down to beautiful Cairo. Ladies and gentlemen, Representative McCombie is that leader. Today, I rise as the youngest member to have been elected to the Illinois General Assembly, and I will be proud for the rest of my life for this moment to second the nomination of Leader McCombie as Speaker of the House. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, we have an opportunity today. Vote for a leader who has inspired me to serve my community and will inspire the next generation of public servants. Maybe as mayor as Leader McCombie was, or perhaps governor, or even the first female president. Ladies and gentlemen, the sky is the limit when the ceiling is broken. Please join me in voting for Representative Tony McCombie as Speaker of the House. Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
Representative Noreen Hammond nominates the lady from Carroll, Tony McCombie, for the Speaker of the House. Representative Bradley J. Fritz seconds the nomination of Representative Tony McCombie for the office of Speaker. Representative McCombie is nominated for the office of Speaker. Are there further nominations for the office of Speaker of the House of Representatives? There being no further nominations offered from the floor, nominations for the office of Speaker are closed. The nominees for the office of the Speaker for the 103rd General Assembly are Representative Emmanuel Chris Welch and Representative Tony McCombie. And on that question, we will have an oral roll call. When your name is called, please announce your vote in a loud, clear voice for the clerk. The question is on the election of the Speaker of the House of the 103rd General Assembly. Mr. Clerk, please call the roll.
And may I have silence in the auditorium so I can hear the answers? Representative Ammons. Representative Ammons votes for Welch. Representative Andrade.
40th District supports Emmanuel Chris Welch.
Representative Andrade votes for Welch. Representative Avalar. Representative Avalar votes for Representative Welch. Representative Benton. Representative Benton votes for Welch. Representative Buckner. Representative Buckner votes for Welch. Representative Burke. Representative Burke votes for Welch. Representative Cabello. Representative Cabello votes for McCombie. Representative Canty.
The 54th District selects Emmanuel Chris Welch, Speaker of the House.
Representative Canty votes for Welch. Representative Carroll. Representative Carroll votes for Welch. Representative Cassidy. Representative Cassidy votes for Welch. Representative Calkins. Representative Calkins votes for McCombie. Representative Chung. Representative Chung votes for Welch. Representative Coffey. Representative Coffey votes for McCombie. Representative Collins. Representative Collins votes for Welch. Representative Costa Howard. Representative Costa Howard votes for Welch. Representative Crespo. Representative Crespo votes for Welch. Representative Croak. Representative Croak votes for Welch. Representative Davidsmeyer. Representative Davidsmeyer votes for McCombie. Representative Jed Davis. Representative Jed Davis votes for McCombie. Representative Will Davis. Representative Will Davis votes for Welch. Representative Delgado. Representative Delgado votes for Welch. Representative DeLuca. Representative DeLuca votes for Welch. Representative Didich. Representative Didich votes for Welch. Representative Ellick. Representative Ellick votes for McCombie. Representative Evans. Representative Evans votes for Welch. Representative Favor Dias. Representative Favor Dias votes for Welch. Representative Flowers. Representative Flowers votes for Welch. Representative Ford. Representative Ford votes for Welch. Representative Randy Freeze. Representative Randy Freeze votes for McCombie. Representative David Freeze. Representative David Freeze votes for McCombie. Representative Fritz. Representative Fritz votes for McCombie. Representative Gable. Representative Gable votes for Welch. Representative Gong Gershowitz. Representative Gong Gershowitz votes for Welch. Representative Gonzalez. Representative Gonzalez votes for Welch. Representative Gordon Booth. Representative Gordon Booth votes for Welch. Representative Grant. Representative Grant votes for McCombie. Representative Guerrero Cuellar. Representative Guerrero Cuellar votes for Welch. Representative Garzardi. Representative Garzardi votes for Welch. Representative Haas. Representative Haas votes for McCombie. Representative Halbrook. Representative Halbrook votes for McCombie. Representative Hammond. Representative Hammond votes for McCombie. Representative Hanson. Representative Hanson votes for Welch. Representative Harper. Representative Harper votes for Emmanuel Chris Welch. Representative Howder. Representative Howder votes for McCombie. Representative Barbara Hernandez. Representative Barbara Hernandez votes for Welch. Representative Lisa Hernandez. Representative Lisa Hernandez votes for Welch. Representative Norma Hernandez. Representative Norma Hernandez votes for Welch. Representative Hirschauer. Representative Hirschauer votes for Welch. Representative Hoffman. Representative Hoffman votes for Welch. Representative Hurley. Representative Hurley votes for Welch. Representative Nguyen. Representative Nguyen votes for Welch. Representative Jacobs. Representative Jacobs votes for McCombie. Representative Jimenez. Representative Jimenez votes for Welch. Representative Johnson. Representative Johnson votes for Welch. Representative Jones. Representative Jones votes for Welch. Representative Kiker. Representative Kiker votes for McCombie. Representative Kelly. Representative Kelly votes for Welch. Representative Kifowit. Representative Kifowit votes for Welch. Representative Laddish Douglas. Representative Laddish Douglas votes for Welch. Representative LaPointe. Representative LaPointe votes for Welch. Representative Lilly. Representative Lilly votes for Welch. Representative Ma. Representative Ma votes for Welch. Representative Manley. Representative Manley votes for Welch. Representative Marin. Representative Marin votes for McCombie. Representative Mason. Representative Mason votes for Welch. Representative Mayfield. Representative Mayfield votes for Welch. Representative McCombie. Representative McCombie votes for McCombie. Representative McLaughlin. Representative McLaughlin votes for McCombie. Representative Meyer. Representative Meyer votes for McCombie. Representative Myers Martin. Representative Myers Martin votes for Welch. Representative Miller. Representative Miller votes for McCombie. Representative Moeller. Representative Moeller votes for Welch. Representative Morgan. Representative Morgan votes for Welch. Representative Moylan. Representative Moylan votes for Welch. Representative Mussman. Representative Mussman votes for Welch. Representative Ness. Representative Ness votes for Welch. Representative Nichols. Representative Nichols votes for Welch. Representative Niemer. Representative Niemer votes for McCombie. Representative Olacol. Representative Olacol votes for Welch. Representative Ortiz. Representative Ortiz votes for Welch. Representative Ozinga. Representative Ozinga votes for McCombie. Representative Rashid. Representative Rashid votes for Welch. Representative Reich. Representative Reich votes for McCombie. Representative Rita. Representative Rita votes for Welch. Representative Robinson. Representative Robinson votes for Welch. Representative Rosenthal. Representative Rosenthal votes for McCombie. Representative Santo-Litro. Representative Santo-Litro votes for McCombie. Representative Scherer. Representative Scherer votes for Welch. Representative Schmidt. Representative Schmidt votes for McCombie. Representative Severin. Representative Severin votes for McCombie. Representative Slaughter. Representative Slaughter votes for Welch. Representative Smith. Representative Smith votes for Welch. Representative Sosnowski. Representative Sosnowski votes for McCombie. Representative Spain. Representative Spain votes for McCombie. Representative Stava Murray. Representative Stava Murray votes for Welch. Representative Stevens. Representative Stevens votes for McCombie. Representative Stewart. Representative Stewart votes for Welch. Representative Swanson. Representative Swanson votes for McCombie. Representative Syed. Representative Syed votes for Welch. Representative Tarver. Representative Tarver votes for Welch. Representative Tipsworth. Representative Tipsworth votes for McCombie. Representative Ugaste. Representative Ugaste votes for McCombie. Representative Vella. Representative Vella votes for Welch. Representative Walker. Representative Walker votes for Welch. Representative Walsh. Representative Walsh votes for Welch. Representative Weaver. Representative Weaver votes for McCombie. Representative Weber. Representative Weber votes for McCombie. Representative Welch. Representative Welch votes for Welch. Representative West. Representative West is Welch. Representative Wilhauer. Representative Wilhauer votes for McCombie. Representative Ann Williams. Representative Ann Williams votes for Welch. Representative Jawaharial Williams. Representative Jawaharial Williams votes for Welch. Representative Windhorst. Representative Windhorst votes for McCombie. Representative Yang War. Representative Yang War votes for Welch. And Yednock. Representative Yednock. Representative Yednock votes for Welch.
On that question, Representative Welch receives 77 votes. Representative McCombie receives 38 votes. I hereby declare that Emmanuel Chris Welch has been elected Speaker of the House of Representatives for the 103rd General Assembly. Having received the second highest number of votes and serving as the leader of the numerically strongest political party other than the party to which the Speaker-elect belongs, I declare that Tony McCombie has been elected Minority Leader of the House of Representatives for the 103rd General Assembly. With the consent of the House, I will appoint 6 members to constitute an honor committee to escort the Speaker to the rostrum to take the constitutional oath. Is there leave? Leave being granted, I appoint the following to the Committee of Escort: Representative Nick Smith, Representative Barbara Hernandez, Representative Bob Morgan, Representative Sue Scheer, Representative Dan Calkins, and Representative Randy Freese. Will the Committee of Escort proceed to the seat of Representative Emmanuel Chris Welch to escort him to the rostrum? To administer the constitutional oath of the Speaker, I have the honor of presenting to this House the Honorable Judge Shante Raines Welch. Judge Raines Welch.
afternoon, everyone, and welcome. It is certainly a pleasure, an honor, and a blessing to be here today for the 103rd General Assembly. We did not get to gather in this manner the last election cycle, so it is definitely a welcome event. Welcome all of you, my family and my extended family, and all of you. Over the last few years, we've gotten to know each other rather well. So, Mr. Speaker, are you ready to take the oath of office for the House? And when I say the House, we mean... And as the Welch children said, we mean the one here down the street with the gold roof. Mr. Speaker, please repeat after me. I, raise your right hand, yes, sir. I, insert your name, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the great state of Illinois, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Speaker of the Illinois House of Representatives according to the best of my ability. Congratulations, Mr. Speaker.
Wow, it's a little different this time. Let me begin by first giving honor and praises to God, who's the head of my life each and every day. They said, this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us be glad and rejoice in it. I honestly thank God each and every day for this. It is an honor to say, Mr. Secretary, Honorable Lieutenant Governor Juliana Stratton, Comptroller Susana Mendoza, the honorable members of the Illinois Supreme Court, and my friends, my colleagues, Democrats and Republicans, the members of the General Assembly, friends, family, and all of our distinguished guests who took time out of their day to be with us today. Good afternoon. You can do better than that. Good afternoon. I want to begin today by saying thank you to the historic House Democratic Caucus members, the great 78, for trusting me for a second time to lead our chamber as Speaker of the House. The second of three sons of Emanuel and Willie Mae Welch, the husband of Judge Shantae Raines Welch, and the father of Tyler and Marley, a black kid from the woods, Maywood and Bellwood, is Speaker of the House. From where we come from, that's not supposed to happen. But we said, who says so? Twice now, we've made history. Thank you, Illinois. Illinois says so. Thank you, Representative Cam Buckner, and my friend, our leader Lisa Hernandez. Thank you for your kind words and placing my name into nomination today. I want to also thank and congratulate our new Secretary of State, Alexi Giannoulias. I think the only other guy who was as nervous as me today was Mr. Secretary. After what we all watched last week in Washington, man, you sure made this inauguration look like a model of efficiency. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. You know as well as anyone the historic shoes you are stepping into as you succeed the great Jesse White. I'm sure I speak for this entire House when I tell you how excited I am to see someone in the office who I know will respect that history while also looking to the future. We're glad to have you, Mr. Secretary, and we look forward to the work ahead. And of course, this is special. I want to thank all of the families and friends who are joining us here today. We didn't have anyone except little Charlie Tarver 2 years ago. And look at what we have today. All of you, give yourselves a round of applause. When I first took the speaker's oath 2 years ago at the Bank of Springfield Center, I had my General Assembly family there, and that certainly meant the world to me. But I can't tell you how meaningful it was for the moment that we just saw, and I had an opportunity to share with my wife, Shantae Raines Welch. Got a little choked up there. And our children, Tyler and Marley. They watched it on the internet 2 years ago. And I think a lot of our members had that same experience. A lot of our members here today, I'm sure, feel that same way. So many are taking the office today for the first time. But there are those now beginning their second terms, had very much the same experience that I had when taking the oath of office in that Bank of Springfield Center, knowing our friends and our loved ones were watching online, but still missing being able to see and hug the people who were there for us every step of the way. You know, that yelling and cheering and, you know, when names were called, they earned that moment. They earned every bit of that moment. And they didn't have that 2 years ago. So I'm so happy that they were able to have that moment today. Even those of us who have been through this many times had to wonder 2 years ago. Our desks were 6 feet apart, we were masked, there were no vaccines to protect us, and whether we would ever be able to experience something like this ever again. We just didn't know. So while the oaths we took here today are the same words we've all said or read before, they are imbued with an added meaning when you can look out and see the people who are the reason we all got a chance to say them. I consider all of this as I just laid my hand on our family Bible, which my mom bought when my parents bought our first home. She gave it to Shantae and I when we were married 12 years ago. And we, in turn, will likely pass that Bible down to Tyler or Marley one day. You know, in this state, in this country, the dream of owning a home was by no means something that was guaranteed to my parents at that time. It's not guaranteed still today. It took a lot of hard work and sacrifice, and undoubtedly was the subject of a whole lot of prayer. They passed those hopes and prayers on to me, never imagining a moment like this would even be possible, but only hoping in their hearts that all they had done to create a better life for me and my siblings, my brothers and my sisters, would also help us make better life for all of us. Last week, you saw Marley. She was here holding my speech. She asked me last week, she said, "Tell me something you're going to say." And, well, let me actually tell you what she said before that, because she caught me off guard. she asked me if I was going to give a speech today. And when I said yes, she said, well, tell me something you're going to say. And, that caught me off guard. And, I had to pause for a moment because I got really excited that an 8-year-old was asking me about my speech, that she cared what I was going to say. Because I do believe, probably too soon from now, that she's probably not going to care too much about any of Dad's political speeches, right? So I couldn't pass up that opportunity. I told her that I often remind our caucus to remember their why. And I will probably tell them again. And yes, members, I'm going to tell you to remember your why. Every one of us here today, every one of us, I'm the speaker, Leader McCombie's the leader of the minority party, but every single one of us are the elected leaders from our community. As leaders, we should always remember our why. Why do we get out of bed in the morning? Why do we put our names on the ballot to run for office? Why do we leave our loved ones and give up moments with our kids to come here every week? Why? And I got to tell you, there has been several times that I asked myself that question. I also asked myself, why is the second son of Emmanuel and Willie Mae named Emmanuel and not the first one? Why was I the son given that family Bible? A Bible that my mom signed in March of 1985, months before Chicago violence changed our family forever. Why? I think as legislators, we're going to disagree on how to achieve a goal or when is the right time to do it. But more often than not, our why is very much the same. It really is. We want to help people. That's why we do this job. We want to use the opportunities afforded to each one of us to create more opportunities for those who come after us. Every single person on this stage, Democrat or Republican, wants to help people. We might disagree on how to do that, but our why is the same. I want to talk about someone who's not here today. He became a former speaker at midnight. And it's no secret that former Representative Jim Durkin and I would disagree on many of the hows and whens of lawmaking, and we would often make those disagreements known, sometimes at maximum volume. Jim's sometimes louder than me. I'm the quiet guy, but I can get loud. And that's a good thing, because debate and disagreement are necessary steps toward compromise and cooperation, as long as we never lose sight of our why. That's critical. And Jim is a man who knows his why. I told him that last night. And even through all the debates, I never questioned what was in his heart. I am sincerely grateful for his service to this state, and I honestly think we all should give Jim Durkin a round of applause. As we just witnessed here, Leader Durkin has now passed the torch to Leader Tony McCombie. Looking out at Leader McCombie's guests today, I see the neighbors she served as a leader of a local government. I see the people whose voices she's working to make be heard. I see the farmers from Whiteside County who have taught both of us, because I'm their adopted legislator. They've taught both of us about the importance of agriculture to our state. When I look at Leader McCombie and all of her folks here today, I see a generation she is working hard to help achieve even more. I think we can do better than what we did earlier. Let's give the first woman ever elected to lead a House caucus a well-deserved round of applause. Now, if you've ever watched any of our floor debates, you know Leader McCombie and I have disagreed. And while we will certainly have more disagreements, it is my hope that even our disagreements can be productive when we remember that the reasons why we're doing the work are very similar. That's a commitment that I make to every single one of our members, whether Democrat or Republican, because be clear what just happened here today. I am not Speaker of the Democrats. I'm Speaker of the House. It's my job, it's my charge to lead the House. Everyone who is here to work in good faith and pursue the common good will find common cause with me. Everyone who values civility and respect will find that we have a strong foundation to work from. Everyone committed to upholding the values of our democracy will be my ally in defense of government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Everyone. Everyone who is ready to do the people's work and meet the challenges of this moment will have a partner in me, always, every single day. But those who choose discord, and you know the type of discord I'm talking about, because disagreement is healthy. Those who choose discord, those whose blind allegiance to extreme ideology that would dismantle our fundamental institutions, those who would derail the work people have sent us here to do, they will find that this House will not waste the people's time on any of their games. Let's be clear about that. Because we know the work that we were sent here to do. You didn't come down here today to have us waste your time. We have work to do. We have to move this state forward. We must continue fighting for relief for those middle class and struggling families hit hardest by unstable markets. Because we believe the system should reward work, not wealth. We must continue rebuilding Illinois' fiscal house with fiscally and socially responsible budgets. Because we know that your budget is a reflection of what you value. We know that. We must continue to prioritize equity in everything we do. Equity in healthcare, equity in education, equity in workplaces, and yes, also equity in our judicial system. When we say the Pledge of Allegiance, it ends with justice for all. Justice for all means all. We know and we believe that we should have a justice system that works for everyone. And I'm so thankful for this, the judge in my house, the judges in the audience today, the Supreme Court justice, and all who's fighting to make sure our justice system is fair. We must work hard every single day for safer communities for all by providing police with the resources they need right now, investing in communities, though, while we're supporting police, and we've done that at record levels. We also must continue to invest, not disinvest, in communities to attack the root causes of that crime and getting illegal guns off our streets. Getting those guns off our streets, Democrat or Republican. We might disagree on some issues. You saw that here today. You saw it yesterday. But we all want to keep our communities safe. I think keeping our communities safe requires action, though, not just talk. And so we're here to do the work. We must stand up to the extremists who want to pull us backward, because matters of basic human dignity shouldn't be subject to the ideology of politicians and judges. Let's be clear. I hope you can hear me all the way up there. In Illinois, we trust women. We trust women. We must deliver. We must deliver for our small businesses, welcome innovators, and pair them with well-trained and highly skilled workers, because we believe that Illinois' farms and factories, our universities, and our union halls are where we will build the 21st century. That's where we will build a better Illinois, an economy that works for all of us. We must protect voting rights and workers' rights. We must support our schools and care for our seniors. We must speak up for our big cities, our growing suburbs, and our small towns alike, because we were sent here to provide for the common good, not divide for individual gain. The common good. In doing this work, we're not only doing the jobs we were sent here to do, we are fulfilling the charge laid out in our state constitution. And everyone just signed a piece of paper. The charge of the Constitution. Marley asked me if I was going to give a speech. Last Sunday, we were sitting at breakfast at one of our favorite places, and Tyler asked, he said, "Dad, does the Illinois Constitution say we the people?" And my response said, "Let's look it up." And indeed, the Illinois Constitution starts with a preamble that opens up by saying, "We, the people of the state of Illinois." It's the first thing you see. But we kept reading. And boy, that preamble is a beautiful beginning to our foundational document. It is a prayer for the strength to provide for the health, safety, and welfare of the people, to maintain a representative and orderly government, to eliminate poverty and inequality, to assure legal, social, and economic justice, to provide opportunity for the fullest development of the individual, to ensure domestic tranquility, to provide for the common defense, and to secure the blessings of freedom and liberty to ourselves and our posterity. That's the beginning of the Illinois State Constitution. Tyler asked me that question 4 days before the inauguration of the 103rd General Assembly, because I think he was put there to remind me, so I can remind all of you that that's Illinois' why. That's all of our why. When I look around this room full of families and friends, parents and children, I see so many of our personal whys. Because my parents, who I'm so thankful were able to be here today, with all of my family up here, you know, my parents are represented, my parents' prayers are represented by that family Bible. And the dreams I have for my children aren't unique to me. We all share those same dreams. There's something that every one of us in this room want for our own loved ones. And the hope for a brighter future is shared by each of the 12 million Illinoisans we serve in 118 districts. And yes, Representative Fritz, from Chicago to Cairo, from Winnetka to Washington Park, from Westchester to Savannah. Yes, we are all here to fight for all 118 districts. You see, regardless of our region, regardless of our race, regardless of our religion, we all have a common prayer. Our common prayer is that our work today will build a better tomorrow. That's what people in all of our communities hope for every night as they fall asleep. And it's why they get out of bed in the morning. It's up to us, just us, 118 of us, to work just as hard on their behalf. I'm ready to do the work. The House Democratic Caucus is ready to do the work. Together, Leader McCombie, we're ready to do the work. Some people are going to say that we can't work together. But I ask you to join me in saying, yes, we can. Yes, we can. Yes, we will. Because the people of Illinois sent us here to do the work. We know the mission of this moment, and we know our why. Members of the 103rd General Assembly, let's rise to this moment. Let's use this time and all that has been given to us to do the work and move Illinois forward together. May God bless us all. Thank you all so much. At this time, it is with great honor that the chair recognizes Minority Leader McCombie. Leader McCombie, would you care to address the body?
I'll start with saying, Speaker, yes, we can.
Yes, we will.
But I'll also say I think I wrote the wrong speech. You know, one day we debated on the floor, and I'm off script. Sorry to my staff and my husband. I said to you, Speaker, Representative, is this a real bill? I think we'll be doing that quite often. Good afternoon, everybody. Oh, come on now. Remember, yes, we can. Oh, we will. Thank you all for coming today. I appreciate that. Thank you to my seatmate, Noreen Hammond from Macomb, for your nomination. I wouldn't be standing here today if not for Noreen. I have to tell you, she has saved me from some very embarrassing floor speeches, or more recently, when I called her to ask her opinion if I should run for this position and if I would have her support, and she said, I got you, baby. Thank you. And thank you to my friend and neighbor in Lee County, Brad Fritz, the youngest member ever elected to the Illinois House of Representatives. Congratulations to you and your family. I mean, what an accomplishment. Elected at 22. I'm guessing, like most of you, you were not politically engaged at such a young age. Personally, at 22, I was at Western Illinois University. I was on the 6-year plan, trying to rebuild my GPA so I could actually graduate. Those were the days and stories for another time. It is really surreal to stand here before all of you today. I'm from Savannah, as you've heard, a small river town in northwest Illinois. I was far from politically active, unless you consider all the scheming us girls do to deal with brothers growing up politics. As a matter of fact, my friends and family, especially those here today, are probably still wondering how and what in the world am I doing here? My family didn't talk much about politics, but I knew my dad was a Reagan Republican and my mom was a JFK Democrat. Our parents, like many, didn't always have it easy, but they raised us to be hard-working individuals, demanding we respect ourselves, but more importantly, we respect others. Many are not fortunate, or many of us, let me start that over here. Many are not as fortunate as we are on this stage. Today with me, I have my husband. We should all thank our husbands and wives. This is truly a team sport that we're in. My big brother Kelly and some of my family are here, and many of my dear, dear friends. My support system, I am so blessed and want to say thank you. Thank you for guiding me, carrying me. Here it comes. Carrying me when I need it, and helping me to be the very best at just about everything I've ever done. You are rock stars, and I love you. To the members, especially the new members of the 103rd General Assembly, if there's any advice, you haven't asked, but I'm a woman, so I'm going to give it, is that you be honest and genuine with your colleagues, with your constituents, and with yourselves. Have interesting conversations and learn from them. If you don't know the answers, which you won't, it's okay. Let yourself be vulnerable and say so. Make the effort to change rather than silently accept what is wrong. Our position in politics is often regarded negatively, so let's change that. If you understand a policy and it will be a detriment to the people of Illinois and you still support it, that is a problem. Know this position is not about you, it's about them. Represent your districts, be present, be engaged, and never forget why you are here. You are here to be their voice, their representative. Good luck on this adventure, and congratulations to you all. As we approach the new General Assembly, we see historic changes in leadership. Surrounding the redistricting process, we now see a wholesale change in who is leading all 4 caucuses in Springfield for the first time in more than 50 years. With that comes great responsibility and opportunity. In 1876, the first African American was elected to the Illinois House of Representatives, John W.E. Thomas. A Republican, if I may add. Years later, 46 years later, the first woman was elected to the Illinois House of Representatives, Lottie Holman O'Neill. Also a Republican. God bless her, she was elected to 19 General Assemblies, serving 40 years, the longest serving female elected in the United States at the time until Barbara Flynn Curry, not a Republican. She surpassed her by being elected to her 20th term. Today, in 2023, in the 103rd General Assembly, and on this stage, standing together as we did in 2019, when we nominated our leaders, Speaker Welch and I will lead our respective caucuses. I tell you this history because Illinois is and has always been a state of possibilities and opportunity. But our systems of checks and balances is at risk with increasingly one-party control of Illinois state government. Long held respect by those who value democracy, our system of checks and balances between our co-equal branches of government is unbalanced and unhealthy for us all, Republicans, Democrats, and independents. We have an opportunity with leadership changes to reimagine what we expect from our state government. We must prioritize the co-equal nature of our government and prioritize fulfilling the constitutional duty, one which supersedes party loyalty or providing those checks and balances. My Republican colleagues in the House have put their faith in me to restore and to rebuild and to bring balance to Illinois. It will be difficult, but we will claw back in the wake of the worst gerrymandered maps in the country. Looking out at the audience, it's like sitting in the house when we're a little out of balance here too, ladies and gents. We must take the lessons we have learned from the past to politically and structurally reform Illinois, providing a brighter future for our families. Illinois families are leaving, and I would say due to the growing size of our government and the byproduct of bad policy. Illinois could be flourishing. Let's put politics aside and come together, work together to decrease the high cost of government and crushing mandates and regulations on our schools, on our business, and our communities. I promise we can do that while improving outcomes, keeping families safe and serving our most vulnerable. Believe it or not, we have 40 of 118 seats. The Republicans here represent a part of all 102 counties. It's amazing to think about that. We might not be your representative, but we represent a part of every county in this state. It's time for courageous leadership. Leadership must be unafraid to be forthright. So I ask you, Speaker Welch, don't be afraid. Bring us to the table. We are problem solvers, so use our knowledge, benefit from our talents, and hear our hearts. Let us show you that any preconceived notions about Republicans is false. We want to govern. So I ask you, please don't disregard our value. Together, Speaker Welch and the members of the 103rd General Assembly, let's look to the future. Let's put aside political agendas and do what's right. Let's make Illinois a better place to work and raise our families. And the only way to do that successfully, Speaker Welch, is to join me to be accessible, transparent, and honest, to bring our caucuses together to frame real solutions. Please take note, and please follow my lead by example and how short my speech just was. Thank you all so much for coming today. I appreciate it. We need you more than you ever know. So thank you very much for coming, and God bless Illinois.
Thank you, Leader McCombie. The next order of business is the election of the Chief Clerk and Assistant Clerk for the 103rd General Assembly. The lady from Peoria, Representative Gordon Booth, is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I move for the suspension of the applicable House rules to allow for the immediate consideration of House Resolutions 1, 2, and 3.
You heard the lady's motion. All in favor say aye. All opposed say nay. The ayes have it, and the motion is adopted. Representative Gordon Booth.
Mr. Speaker, I move for the adoption of House Resolution 1, a resolution for the election of John W. Holman as Chief Clerk and Bradley S. Bolin as Assistant Clerk.
Mr. Clerk, read the resolution.
House Resolution Number 1, be it resolved by the House of Representatives of the 103rd General Assembly of the State of Illinois that the following officers are hereby elected for the term of the 103rd General Assembly. John W. Holman as Chief Clerk of the House, Bradley S. Bolin as Assistant Clerk of the House.
The lady has moved the adoption of House Resolution Number 1. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed by saying nay. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. Pursuant to House Resolution 1, And the ayes having it, the chair declares John W. Holman elected as Chief Clerk of the House and Bradley S. Boland elected as the Assistant Clerk of the House for the 103rd General Assembly. Do these gentlemen accept the offices to which they have been elected? They both have indicated that they do. The lady from Peoria, Representative Gordon Booth, is recognized to offer two other resolutions.
Mr. Speaker, I move the adoption of House Resolution 2 to direct the clerk to inform the Senate that the House is organized, and that I move for the adoption of House Resolution 3 for the appointment of a committee to inform the governor that we are organized, and we await any communication that he may have.
The lady has moved the adoption of House Resolutions 2 and 3. These are traditional ceremonial procedures. Without objection, we can take both motions in one vote, members. All in favor signify by saying aye. All those opposed say nay. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. And House Resolutions 2 and 3 are adopted. You can clap for that. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to all of the members of the House of Representatives for the 103rd Assembly. Members and guests are invited to tour the House chamber at the Capitol building later on today when you leave here. I want to say, God bless you all, God bless America, and God bless the great state of Illinois. And now, allowing perfunctory time for the clerk, Representative Gordon moves the House stand adjourned until Thursday, January 12th at the hour of 11 a.m. Those in favor say aye. Those opposed say nay. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it, and the House stands adjourned until Thursday, January 12th at 11 a.m., allowing perfunctory time for the clerk.